You don't get any money. It's right on 6:30. A good friend of the show and a founder of an amazing organisation, Fair Fuel UK. We welcome Howard Cox to Talk Drive. How are you, Howie?
Hello, Jeff. Don't you call me Howie?
Why not?
Because people have not honestly got up out of the coffin from saying that to me.
All right, Howie.
There's an American friend of mine calls me Howie, baby.
I know. That's what I was told. That's why I did it, baby. Listen, welcome. I just wanted to speak to you because this breaking news we started the show with today, Howie. Vauxhall to close its plant in Luton, van-making factory in Luton, putting 1,100 jobs at risk. Stellantis, which also owns brands including Citroen, Peugeot and Fiat, said it would consolidate its electronic van production at the other UK plant in Ellesmere Port. But the company's admitted, Howard, that the decision has been made in the context of the government's rules designed to speed up the transition to electric vehicles. So already this bizarre and mad rush dash to net zero, not shared by the biggest, as that texter said, the people that let out the most crap, I'm not very technical, means that 1,100 jobs are going. This is just a sign of what's going to happen under this government, isn't it?
Well, we've spoken about this for many years, haven't we? And
yeah.
The simple thing, the point is, we saw this coming. You can't interfere with the marketplace the way they've been trying to do it with massive subsidies and also controlling the competition by putting a ban on the competition in 2030. I mean, governments aren't supposed to interfere with markets, are they?
What about choice, Howard? What about choice of what car you want?
Well, exactly. And now they are interfering it's coming home to roost. The problems that are happening because people don't want these electric vehicles or the electric vans, certainly electric vans. You ask any plumber carrying, how he's got to charge his vehicle every 50 miles because the thing's so flipping full up heavy with work. And they're
already saying that electric car targets could be used as demand flags, which is ludicrous. So we've got a government that's saying we're obsessed with net zero. We're going to screw farmers. We want to grab your land and create wind farms. And by the way, if you don't have an electric car, we're going to put subsidies and we're going to make your life a misery. But no bugger wants to buy an electric car. So yet again, it's almost the same as raising taxes on small businesses. We're saying to people, if we're a Labour government, this is what you do. And if you don't do it, you'll be in trouble. And people are just throwing their hands out and go, we won't have a car then. We won't have a business. You can do one. I'm leaving. That's the reality, isn't it?
Absolutely right. And the manufacturers are on their knees in this country because the only way they're actually selling these EVs with massive discounting. So they're not profitable. The whole thing is a mess. The government have interfered. The Tories as well. They started this ball rolling and now Labour are going to make it worse. And they're not going to move from the 2030 ban. They've moved it from 2035 to 2030. Remember, I won that.
But it's not going to work.
No, it's not. No infrastructure, absolutely right. And the actual vehicles themselves are not that green either. So this is the whole point about this. It's a complete, utter mess. Something's got to give in the next year, Jeremy, and I think it will give because there's no way, because they're laying off more and more jobs. It's going to happen more and more problems with manufacturers.
Well, this thing that I don't even know what it is, Great British Energy. We know for a fact they've cancelled. They're not allowing any more oil and gas licences. They've created 9 wind farms. That's going to cost 100,000 jobs around the Aberdeen area. I don't even know what Great British Energy is. And somebody said to me today, actually early this morning, and I repeated it about 4 o'clock. Love your take on this. So we've got all this oil and gas, right, underneath the ground, in the sea and under... But we're not going to do that because that's bad for the environment, along with the electric cars thing, right? So what we're going to do is... we're going to create Great British Energy, but there won't be enough wind, so we'll have to import it at twice the cost, and your bills will bloody well go up, and all of that's under our ground, and it doesn't... I go back to Donald Trump, drill, baby, drill, baby, drill, baby, drill.
Oh, that's the point. That's the good news. Donald Trump's here because he's going to put gas, oil, drill like mad, cheaper energy around the world. We've got to compete with that, so we've got to bring down our prices, as simple as that. And as you rightly say, we don't want to bloody bring across these super great big tankers full of diesel, etc., coming across here and paying for the privilege of doing it. It's just absolutely absurd.
And in terms of Fair Fuel UK, the people that you know and respect, your charity, are they all saying there's no enthusiasm for electric vehicles, is there? It's an anathema, isn't it? It's not right.
No, the only people that love electric vehicles are quite well-off people, very rich people. Those are the sorts of people. But the bog standard driver that really is members of Fair Fuel UK do not want that. They're happy with a diesel car which does 70 to the gallon, that sort of thing. It's never had a problem. It's passed its MOT, its smoke test, all those sorts of things. It's perfectly adequate. But because it's diesel, you can't get into any of these towns and cities. And that's what's going to get worse because most of the inner urban conurbations are Labour run. and they hate the motorist.
I mean, completely hate the motorist. I mean, every time I get in a black cab in town, if I'm going somewhere, the hatred towards Sadiq Khan amongst a brilliant profession, the black cabbies, whose lives have been made intolerable trying to drive around this city now because 40% of it's full of people either protesting with their flags or their walk areas. I mean, honestly, and this, I'm going to have a bitch now. Sorry, Joe, this is genuinely true. I had to go to a gig on Thursday night. Got to the bottom of Park Lane, pouring a rain, so in the car, right? Got to the bottom of Park Lane at 6:05. Got to the Grove now. Is it the Grove? Where was it? I don't know. Wherever it is, up top on right. Which is half a mile. 57 minutes later, because there's 3 lanes of traffic. One's now a bus lane, buggered. One in's the cycle lane. Can't go in there because you get 9 points, right? And then just one. It's just ludicrous, man. And it seems to me that motorists are just the easy target for the mayor in London and for the government in general. Always thought that.
Well, it's an interesting thing. I can tell you in a second. I was delighted because I didn't expect it, but I got a 15th year freezing fuel duty. It's the only good thing in the budget compared to everything else. And you know, I really worked hard on that. You know, the usual thing I do. But what was interesting, a Labour MP told me only a few weeks back, he said, Howard, it was either the motorist or the farmer. You won this time. Isn't that interesting?
It's frightening, isn't it? Am I not allowed to call you Howie then?
Oh, of course you can. I'll call you that, Jezzy.
Oh, get off. Howard Cox, amazing man. We love having you on, founder of Fairfall UK, that fights for the rights of motorists in this country. What a fantastic man and a great job. 25